Can I offer full disclosure? Can I tell the story about yesterday?
Yeah.
Oh,
absolutely. Yeah, I think that's sure.
Okay.
What happened yesterday?
No,
When we met you.
the discussion.
And nothing
And he
bad
didn't
about it.
know. He didn't know. That's all.
Oh, okay.
That's where
So
we're going.
yesterday, Tom tells me he wants to go meet with his friend who just got out, struggling, going through a transition, and we go to meet Jeremy for the first time. And Tom, did you know the transition that Jeremy was going through?
I didn't actually. I
knew a little bit.
I missed
The clues.
the context clues a little bit. It didn't dawn on me when he told me, I'm kind of going through a transition.
What transition that was?
I was assuming that transition was, yeah, you're homeless. I get it, man. It's no big deal. So when we showed up, I was slightly taken aback. I mean, I had some inkling about the situation, obviously. But it just blew my mind just a smidge.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've been wanting to do this since I was like 12.
Huh.
Yeah. I only date women though, which people find really weird. When I look, like, I know it sounds crazy because like without mirrors, I guess I just wouldn't really have my, what do you say? I can't even think of the word, man.
Identity?
Well, yeah, like I just don't like me. Like I don't like when I see Jeremy in the mirror, I'm like, ew, for some reason. Yeah, I don't. I'm not that ugly.
So I just got a chance to meet you for the first time yesterday. I was shocked, but only shocked because of the fact that I didn't know.
Yeah.
Tom didn't really know. Tom didn't tell me. He didn't have anything to tell me because he didn't know. But we get a chance to meet you for the first time, or I get a chance to meet you for the first time, and you're somebody who has served time, who has struggled, who is currently struggling, and talk about what's going on with you.
Well, so for a while, I waited to do this because I was running my business, and I was scared at first that people weren't going to sell me work. They're not going to sign contracts with me. They're like, oh God.
What kind of work? What kind of business do you have?
I own a tree service. I've been working on my tree service for about like 5-6 years. I got I had a big equipment, bucket truck, chipper, dump trailer. In 3 years I made close to $1 million. Honestly, you weren't there for that. I wish you were. I didn't spend it responsibly, but I definitely made it a little over $1 million in 3 years. My take home after paying people, so I think I did pretty good for myself. No handouts.
$1 million in 3 years, yeah, that's quite a bit of money.
Yeah, and that's after paying everybody. That was my take home. And the only reason I know that is because my accountant, she filed all 3 years at one time because I was kind of slacking on my taxes, and I had to pull out all my contracts. And all my contracts.
Nice.
Yeah. That wasn't even including cash payouts. That was mostly just credit cards and checks.
So you blew through $1 million in 3 years with the tree service. How did you blow through this money?
Drugs and hotels. Hotels, I wouldn't say I paid for hookers, but I had a lot of hooker friends. And drugs, man.
What was your drug?
Methamphetamines. If I could go back, honestly, it hurts me. It pains me so much that I put so much into my business just to have it washed away in no time. 6 years of building and like 4 months of gone. Everything.
So you lose everything. You've told some crazy stories when I met you yesterday about hiring all the wrong people. I can relate to that with the painting business that I have. Tell the story about what happened to your truck and your chipper.
Okay, so a couple years back, now it's probably been about almost 3.5 years now. I'm living with my accountant. We're in this house out in Hollywood Homes in Virginia Beach. And my accountant's like, my son's coming home from jail. Oh my God. She has like really bad PTSD, and I don't get it. I don't understand. I don't understand why she has so much PTSD from her son. And I'm like, I'm sure he's not that bad. My mom kind of acts like that about me too. So he gets out. I give him clothes. I give him a company phone through AT&T. put money in his pocket, give him a job, and he starts getting back on drugs. And at first, he seemed like a really good kid, really great kid. And I was like, man, he works hard, he's good, you know, he's great. And so after a couple weeks of him shooting methamphetamines, he while I was on a date out on the Eastern Shore, he stole my bucket truck and my chipper. I was on a date with a girl, and I get a call from a concerned citizen saying that they seen my bucket truck going down the road losing equipment. Like the cabinet doors were open, tools were falling out. I was like, oh my God, my truck's supposed to be at the house parked. And long story short, cops couldn't find it. I couldn't find it for like 2 days. And then when I did find it, I had an altercation with about 6 people. I was there by myself. Originally I had another person with me, but on the way there, me and my friend Bishop, hopefully you don't mind disclosing his name, we get in a motorcycle accident as I'm finding my bucket truck. As we see my bucket truck, I slam on my front and back brakes on my motorcycle, and he's so close behind me that he clips me. So he leaves me. I tell him I'm not leaving the bucket truck. I'm not leaving my equipment. I'm going to stay here. And long story short, somebody ended up drawing a gun on me, and I ended up shooting them and going to prison for it. If I could go back, I definitely would have waited on the law to come up, and they would have solved the problem, and I wouldn't have went to prison. But
Any news stories about that incident? That seems like something that would have made the news.
it was on the news. They put my ugly ass mugshot on the news. My mom's like, thanks, Jeremy. Like I'm ruining her reputation or something.
So you went to prison for that, but that was prior to you going through the transition that you're currently going through.
Correct.
You just recently got out of jail.
Correct. Yes.
How long were you in jail, and what were you in jail for?
So I bought a truck from a company, another pickup truck, and I kind of knew the story about it. Let's just say it wasn't legit, the truck, and I get in a police chase with Virginia Beach Police Department, and I actually get away from them. I lose them, ditch the truck, and then like a dummy, I bring the truck back to my house a month later, and they find the truck at my house. And I went to jail.
How long did you serve in jail for that?
I did 5 months, and then I got out for 20 days, and then went and did another 4 months.
Now, during this time, you know, these 5 months, these 4 months, were you going through the transition?
Yes. I actually started doing my transition when I got out of prison. So I was out of prison for about a year after the shooting, and that's when I started going back on my transition.
Let me see that. Can I show that?
Where's my equipment?
No,
Oh yeah.
A mugshot,
Huh?
and it's
Oh yeah. Virginia Beach knows how to pick the mug shots. Yeah. It's whoo. Yeah. That's what happens when you don't sleep for 2 days and you're looking for your equipment and you're stressed the fuck out and looking crazy.
Well, let's go back to you doing this time that you just did because you were going through the transition.
Okay.
What's your time like in jail? They don't put you in a woman's pod.
Oh
they
yeah,
put you
no,
in
it's
the men's.
definitely not. So I could have went to PC and been in a cell by myself, but I'm built. I don't look built. I don't look like, you know, whatever. I lift trees all day. You know, I climb trees and I tote trees into the trailers and stuff. I'm a strong man, even though I'm transitioning. Yeah, so they because of my history, they put me in gang-related pods all the time. I'm not gang-related, but because of my violent in-house charges, I always go to the thug pods.
So you go into these violent housing units.
Yep.
You're walking through looking the way that you're looking. I am sure it's problems for you as soon as you go in there.
Oh, of course. Not only that, they give me. I had to pay for a sports bra in the jail, and that was one of the things that like everybody got like triggered by. Like, oh, he's wearing a bra. Yeah, I'm wearing a bra. Who cares? Who cares who I am? Who cares? You know what I mean? Anyways.
I bring it up because I'm sure you had to fight while you were in there.
Oh yeah. Like the last 2 weeks I did in there, they put me in this random pod. So I did most of my time in one pod. Everybody in that pod kind of knew who I was, Tiffany, and they didn't care. Most of the people were cool with me. But like, I got into an altercation with a deputy, and they put me in the hole. And then my last 2 weeks I was in the jail, they put me in a gang pod. And the last 2 weeks I was in there, I literally had to fight everybody in the pod.
Did you win?
Yeah, of course. Everybody gets me misconstrued. They're like, it's gonna be so easy. Like the last guy I fought, I blocked all 3 of his punches with my face and was like, that's it.
You blocked him with your face? Jeez.
Over a state tray. He wasn't even supposed to get the tray. He was in court. And so when you go to court, you don't get your tray, but he's on a diet, so they always bring the diet trays no matter what, if he's in court or not. Anyway, long story short, he comes back and finds out that I ate his tray that he wasn't going to get anyways, and he snapped out on me. And he was like, oh, I think it's sweet. Here, that's my bucket truck right there. That's my business.
Wow.
I still have my business license. I'm actually in the middle of selling my chipper right now so I can get back on my feet. I got it for half price right now. My chipper is going for about $35,000. I got it posted for $15,000 right now, just because I need to get back on my feet. I need a pickup truck, equipment, gear.
So you want to go right back into the tree service?
Oh yeah.
How do you feel people are going to react seeing you going through the transition?
So I was kind of doing this before. I mean, I was like, a little bit of a hermit about it, but in all honesty, I find out that people are actually more comfortable to talk to me than anything. And then when I'm up in the tree, they're a little confused. Yeah.
Well, you're coming home from jail. You've been in, a bunch of trouble. You went to prison for the shooting.
Mm-hmm.
You did 2 years for that?
2.5 years, yes.
And then you're just coming home from 5 months. You were home for 20 days, and you went right back for 4 months. You're in a situation right now where, you're essentially, homeless.
Yeah, so I've been working on my business so much that I've kind of alienated myself from everybody except for my kids. Me and my kids, they're my best friends. I love my kids so much. My daughter, she just got in with basic training. And my son, he's graduating high school, and I raised those kids. I've been mostly a single parent most of their life.
What do they think about your transition?
They're cool with it. My daughter and my son, they love me. They're like, Dad, whatever you want to do, as long as you're healthy and you're alive and you're doing what you're supposed to be doing, we love you. I love my kids. They're my best friends. But so I got out recently, and I've been so alienated from everybody that I don't know numbers. I don't have a phone. I don't know how I'm getting anywhere, and I literally had to walk 10 miles out of jail first day out, and it kind of fucked me up, for real. Excuse my language. I wasn't ready for it, I've been laying down for almost a year, and then I get out, and I haven't walked a mile in a year, and I just walked 10 miles, and it was not fun at all.
Can you share the story about the cigarette?
Yeah. So of course, when you get out, the first thing you do is like, hey, you got a cigarette? So after waiting at the jail for about an hour, 2 hours, it was almost 2 hours, honestly. Somebody was supposed to pick me up and didn't. Thank you, Nicole. So I'm walking to my friend's house. I'm hoping he was going to be there. I'm like, Rob, please be home, please. I walked like 10 miles to get to his house. And halfway there, I run into this kid. He's on a bike. And I'm like, bro, you got a cigarette, please? He's like, I got my vape. And I'm like, all right, bet, thank you. Let me get, He's like, right before I hit, he's like, it's a weed cart. It looks just like a normal vape. I'm like, maybe it'll be all right. Oof. Chronic. Biggest mistake I've ever made, ever. The next, like, the rest of the way to my friend's house, like the last like couple of miles seemed like the Sahara Desert. Like I was like laying down in a parking lot, like praying for death. Super dehydrated. Got the munchies now. I'm fine, like
Just got out of jail.
just got out of jail. I'm exhausted. Oh man, dude, I was so happy to see my friend's truck in the driveway. I was like, oh my God, thank you.
You got some water?
My friend and his girl, shout out to my friend Rob and Lisa. Thank you so much. I love you guys. You're like saviors. They let me, they brought me into their home. Even though like the home wasn't fully owned by him, like it's, you got other people in there. They weren't too happy about it. They still let me come in there, stay for a couple of days and get my bearings up. Currently right now I'm staying at another friend's house. Also another best friend. But yeah.
Well, I want to say this. I appreciate your willingness to share your story, to let us feature you video-wise, to do the skit with you, which we're not doing to make fun of you or to.
No, yeah, it's all good humor.
Ultimately we do the skit because we hope that gets the views that brings people to watch this video with you. In your situation that you're in right now, trying to get your business back. What's your addiction situation like?
So, I have really high anxiety and depression, and yes, I take a lot of psych meds for it, and I don't hope people don't think that I'm just some wussy because I got anxiety and depression problems. No, I battle my anxiety and depression because I know what my right option is all the time, and I always got to try the wrong one first. And so I compensate that and all my mistakes with using drugs. Yeah, when I use drugs, I forget who I am and my past mistakes.
So are you still currently using?
I wouldn't say full time, but yes, I am. Unfortunately, I do want to get clean, and I did do heroin I did heroin for 7 years, and I've been clean off of heroin for 8 years, and I quit that cold turkey.
Well, congratulations.
Thank you. That was actually so. Like I said before, this isn't the lowest I've been, but this is the hardest I've fallen. I've definitely been lower than this before.
What are you currently using now?
Methamphetamines.
Oh wow.
Yeah, methamphetamines. I'm not trying to justify that. I do use it more of. I'm supposed to be on ADHD medications, but they don't allow me to have it because they're trying to cure my anxiety and depression first, which I'm never not going to have because I use drugs.
Well, look, I don't want to make this super long. This is an opportunity for us to get a chance to introduce you, to meet you, and who knows where we can go from here. I would like to follow up with you, see if there's anything that we can do to help you with maybe resources. You're a good friend of Tom's. You're a good person from what I'm getting a chance to see, meeting you. As we wrap this up, I want to ask you, is there anything that you would want people to know about you? Anything that you want to share as we get...
Yeah, it hurts me that like everybody that's like, it's always people really close to me that like always steal from me and do bad things. Like honestly, like people, if people let you in and they give you a hand and you give the shirt off your back, don't do them dirty, man. Like the reason why I go through so much anxiety and stress too is because like a lot of people that are close to me are the people that do me dirty, and like that's put a knot around my neck a few times, honestly. Kind of makes me really not trust anybody, and makes me kind of hate this planet, man. It's like, it seems like people are all like that, and I don't. If you work for it, you know what I mean. If you work for it, it's yours. Don't steal other people's stuff, man. You know, I've actually had my equipment and stuff stolen twice from me. Tom knows about this. The first time it happened, Nesto. You remember Nesto? Woo-hoo!
Another fine, outstanding example of why drugs are bad.
Real quick on the story, real quick. So, Nesto, he worked for me for a while. Good kid. Worked for me for like 6 months when I first started my business. Didn't do any drugs, just smoke weed, which is cool with me. I don't care what you do, honestly, as long as you don't bring it to work and you're not high at work. And so Nesto worked for me about 6 months. Disappeared for a little while, and then out of nowhere, I'm at my girlfriend's house, Malia's house, and he's walking down the street, and he's like, "Oh my God, Jeremy, dude, I just got out of the psych ward, and I need a job bad, man." I'm like, "Psych ward?" I'm like, maybe he's just going through anxiety and depression and stuff like that. I give him a job, and I let him stay at my house, and literally the next day, I got a contract in Hampton. We're driving to Hampton. I got my my pickup truck, my trailer. We're going out there to assess the job, put the stuff on the ground at least. And we stop at the Farm Fresh in Ocean View. This is how long ago it was. And I go inside to go get some food and stuff. And I come back out, and my pickup truck and my trailer is going out of the parking lot. Driving away. I'm like, maybe he's just going to McDonald's or going to get something from across the street. Maybe the cops are here. Who knows? I give it like 30 seconds, and I'm like, he's not coming back. I call the cops, and the cops get there, and I have a warrant for my arrest for driving on a suspended. Instead of looking for my truck, they take me to jail. And I'm like, "What are you guys going to do about my truck?" They're like, "Well, you'd be surprised how many trucks in Norfolk get stolen and don't come back." So my truck is gone for 2 weeks. I am at my house, and I'm like, dude, I'm devastated, dude. I just got this house in Oceana Gardens, and I just got to refinish and put new carpet and trim, and it was nice. And, I just got this place. And they couldn't find my stuff for 2 weeks. A state trooper from New Jersey calls me, and he's like, "Is this Mr. Johns?" I'm like, "Yes, it is." And they're like, we have your pickup truck on the New Jersey Turnpike out here, and right now it's kind of a little wrecked. We're taking it to the impound yard right now," which I thought, like, I wasn't gonna have to pay that much to get it out of the impound yard. I had to pay fucking $1,500 to get out of the impound yard. Then I stayed out there for 2 weeks in a Walmart parking lot, not 2 weeks, about a week, in a Walmart parking lot fixing the truck. Me and my girlfriend, and drove it back. And I'm so glad I went and got it, because in all honesty, I didn't think there was going to be nothing left in my truck, but all my climbing gear, my ropes and stuff were still in my my toolboxes in the back of the truck. The kid Nesto, he tried killing himself twice over it, and I actually forgave him for it. His mom told me he tried hanging himself over it. He wrote me a bunch of letters saying how bad off he was, and if he could go back, he would never do it again. He actually worked for me for a year for free.
After that?
Yeah. It was like a month or two afterwards, and after I got my stuff back together, I always bounce back. The kid tried literally hanging himself twice over. Like, literally, they found him hanging one time. And dude, I was like, it's not worth it, man. It's just it's just equipment. I got it back, and it's just like, dude, I'll pay you back, bro. I was like, man, in all honesty, I really still need your help, man. And the last 4 months he worked with me, out of that year he worked with me, he wouldn't take money from me. I tried paying him. He wouldn't take it. That whole year he worked for me for free. For free.
Wow. Well, look, let me go ahead and wrap this up right here. We've covered a lot. I want to leave more on the table for a possible next time that we get up with you and are able to film with you.
Okay.
But, Jeremy, I do appreciate your willingness to go on camera, to do the skit video with us, and to share your story.
Not a problem. I hope people see this, and I I hope people go, wow, my story is not that bad, or I can relate, and they know that they're not alone. Getting out of prison is hard, especially when you build something, you lose it over and over and over. It's hard. I just got to keep struggling. All I can say is keep it moving, keep growing, keep learning from your mistakes. I learn from mine.
Well, again, it's a pleasure to get a chance to meet you, and I appreciate you taking the time to film with us.
Yes, sir. Thank you.